Hello there, beautiful people. So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about a new tool I made called Arc or Arch. I write it ARCH, but it's short. It's short for architecture, so you can call it Arc or Arch, whatever you like. Since I wrote it like that, I kind of always say Arch. So, but I kind of wanted it to be called Arc. But anyway, naming is hard. It's just a little tool to help you sort of document your projects a little bit easier. There's a little tool on the side here where you can write like documentation, markdown style, and a little space on the right side where you can sort of draw diagrams and stuff. And I'll show you a little bit how it works. I've been just a little precursor. I've been working as a software developer slash systems architect for, I don't know, like since 2006, which I guess, what is that, 17 years, which is a long time. For the last 5 years, I've been doing like mostly architecture, but like DevOps and different things. It's always some development as well. And I always I find it kind of annoying to write documentation and draw diagrams. Like typically when you're making like a new module or a project, then you're kind of greenfielding it and you don't really know exactly what it's going to be like when you first start out, and what the sort of internal architecture of the little module is going to be. So I find it a little bit hard, but on the other side, like when you sort of have to live with these software projects for many years, and you deploy them and they run for like 2 years, and then suddenly you need to upgrade something or add a fix or something and pull it back up, and you've forgotten like everything, how it works, and then it's super useful to have this little documentation and diagrams just sort of get you into, oh yeah, right, this is what I was thinking. But I also find like if you do too much documentation, that's also like not so good, because then you get a little bit overwhelming reading the docs and you don't use it to poke around instead. So try to keep it simple, and this tool is helping me with that, at least. Yeah. Okay, so what can you do with this little tool? You have these little boxes on the top here. You can open, save. You can choose to only see the notes. You can see both at the same time, or you can see only the diagram, like if you want to work on that. So it's a little settings box here where you can sort of you can do snap to grid. I'll show you that a little bit later. And yeah, so let's take it for a little spin. Let's say we want to make a little API project, and let's call it my API, my super duper API. So let's say that you know that it's going to have like a user's endpoint, the user's API, and you know that's going to do a get, fetch a list of users, and you also know that it's going to have a post, create a user, right? So just like something super basic. So if you tap this little icon here, it'll create a new node for you. You can also do Control N to have it, and then it's going to place it where the cursor is. It just makes a box with like a UID. You can go edit. So let's say this is our users. So you want that to be like a different shape. Okay, we got users over here. So, and let's say this is our API. Yeah, that's right. And our API, we want to do, you can make these things into a group, tag that little thing there, then they're a group. So a new one, let's say this is our users API, like that. And you can make other boxes part of other boxes, like part of a group. So now if I move this around, you'll move sort of both around. And you can draw lines between boxes. So if you hold in Control, or you can click that one, or you can sort of toggle it with the Control button. So hold in Control and do like this one, or you can go directly to that one. You can also do Control Z to sort of like undo. Yeah, so let's just do this for now. Let's say we also want like a database. It's going to be like a PostgreSQL data store thingy. Yeah, want to do that, like a color, just for fun. You can do colors on arrows as well. So if you like want to follow like a flow or something, you can do that. Red kind of looks like an error. Let's just do green instead. Looks better. Okay, so that's sort of like yeah, kind of the basics. You can build a lot bigger diagrams and yeah. What else? So this is like add a node. This is like edges. This one is for downloading. So if you tap that one, you can save your architecture as a file, as a PNG file. This one will lock the drawing, so you can't like make any modifications. This one is just like zooms into the like all the boxes that you have and zooms it into the current size of your diagram thingy. So if I do like this, and then it'll zoom like that, zoom to fit or whatever it's called. And then this is just like zoom in and out. You can do that with the scroll wheel on the mouse as well. Okay, so on this side, it's like sort of basic markdown. You can do like a preview. You can do like side by side if you want to do like list item to yeah. So you see it'll preview the markdown for you. And yeah, what else? And if you hit this one, you download as you know, the markdown stuff as a PDF. Yeah, and there's a couple of other fun little things that I find quite useful, or sort of I guess that's the thing that makes this tool like a little bit different from other sort of drawing tools like this. So let's say, okay, so this is like a basic start of something. So let's say we want to do want to make a folder called my API, which is going to be let's get in there. We want to save this file in there. It's like an Arch file. Let's go to my API, call it my API.arch, and for now it doesn't automatically put the .arch, so you have to do that. Like if you want to try and open one up later, it'll look for .arch files. So just write that and save. And right now we got a our API.arch file. It's just a JSON file really, so you can type it to JQ. It has some settings, the viewport, blah blah blah, different things, and also the markdown in here somewhere. Okay, so let's say we want, let's just do, should we do git init on this thing? Oh, I don't know. Let's not do git for now. But this is just like basic project, and oh, actually, let's do that. Maybe it makes it easier to see the add it. No, let's do like that. Add an arch docs, something like that. Okay, so the fun thing that you can do. So say this is going to be like a Node.js API or something like that. And then, well, not something like that, something like that. I like to use exactly that. I like to use Node for just like when I'm greenfielding simple API. So let's say that we want this API file, this API box, to sort of represent the index.js file in this project. So you see, you can link these different boxes to files, which is kind of useful, I think. And it'll do relative to the myapi.arch file. So if you just say this one without any slash or anything, you can tap that one to touch the file. So if I go over here now, you see, okay, we have an index.js. That's nice. So say that we also want this users to represent like /API users.js. We can touch that one. And maybe we want this one to represent like db schema.sql just as an example. And if we do this again, you can see, hey, we have everything. Oh, geez, no, it's good as well. Okay. Well, we have all the files, so we can do add them, and then okay, added some files, and yeah. So should we, for fun, like try and make it work, make it do something useful? So I have this little module that I made that I usually use to make these little network APIs called Tiny HTTP Router. So I'm just going to install that. And if we open the index.js file, you can do like import HTTP from HTTP. And we can import, let's see, like a router, and I'm going to do the methods one as well, from tiny HTTP router. And then we can do like http.create, let's do server, like http.create server, and you can pass the router to that one. And the router takes like a bunch of routes, which is basically just like a map saying, okay, I want /users to map to some function. And it'll also take like a default, like after all the routes, can't do anything like that. It'll take like a default function to handle something that doesn't match the routes. So it takes a request and a response. And it also, a tiny HTTP router will add some additional functions. Send is one. You can look at the docs and figure that out to just help you reply quickly. So I want the default one to say just like default and reply with that. So that's it. But then, yeah, this users one we want to do like get. Yeah, it has the methods one. Takes, you can do like that, and that'll take get. I want that to be get users, I guess, right? And we'll make that one, but we'll get users from, what was it, API? Oh, API users JS, was it? Yeah, I think so. Have to make that file as well. But one fun thing here, okay, so we made like a basic index.js. Let's go back to Arch and see what we can do. So if we tap this little file here now, that was tracking the index.js file. If we tap that one, it'll open the file, hey, in the little side panel here as a sort of like a code editor. And you can also you can make modifications. So if you do like that, and if you hit that save button now, it'll save the index.js file and not the myapi.arch. So do that, and let's see if we have, yeah, now it says put, which is pretty cool, but we did want it to say get, so that's better. Okay, so that's kind of fun. I think it'll help you sort of like keep track of the different components, and the components can link to files, so you can actually open the files and see different, look at the implementation, basically, like just to get like an overview. I think that's useful. And we could expand this application later. Maybe it will track the files and show like if you have diffs and stuff like that. So it's not doing too much fancy stuff like that yet, but it could eventually do that. So let's just try and do, let's say we want to do the users file. Let's see if we can try and do it from here. Let's just first, let's git ignore no modules at least. All right. Yeah, some work. All right. Yeah, and I've opened the users file here. So let's see, what do we want? We want to export get users, was it? Which is an async function. I guess it should be that, right? Let's see, I have a little cheat sheet out here. All these tiny React router, they do like standard node format, but they have these helpers, so you can do like that. And yeah, what else should we do? So let's just return like 200 and like user1 and user2. Super basic, save that, and let's take a look. Now we have a little diff here, which is pretty funky. That's what we wanted. So export get users, and if we go back to index, we import get users. Yeah. So, and we have our package.json. I'm just gonna go and, oh, Jesus, did I forget to do? Okay. Let's remove that and do npm init instead. Can I do that? Will it do it for me? Hey, that's good. I'll just save that thingy again. I'll go back here now. I have a bit more. Well, why did it have so many things? That's a little strange. Also, because of this one. I'm just starting from scratch, but I did something wrong. npm init. Let's do that first before we install anything. So let's look at it now. That's about right. And then, okay, so let's do this install thingy. Installing that one. Let's look at it now. That's a lot better. And then remove that one. And we want to add a start script, which should just do no index.js, I guess, right? And let's see if we can start it. Yeah, so since I'm using like import statements and the ES6 module thingy, we have to do type module. Is it module or modules? I think module. See if that works. It works! What did we forget? We forgot to listen. Okay, so we want our servers to listen as well. Listen to port 8080 or something. And then let's do a start. Hey, and we can start it. Let's see if we can curl it. Users. Oh, we got users 1, 2. And if we do the default, we get the default one. So that's if I try to do like users with a, since we did the methods one, say I try to do like a put, it'll do unsupported method. And yeah, that was just a little code example of how you can use the Arch little editor as well to track files and stuff like that. And yeah, what else can you do? I guess that's it. You can save the Arch file, move stuff around. You can see it'll so if you save it here and if you move that one, it'll still track that you have a little diff, and now you can save. As I said, you can do Control-Z to get back to like an old state. And yeah, export to PNG, export to PDF. What else? If you tap that little GitHub icon there, it'll take you to the GitHub page here. And if you want to try it out, there's releases on the right side here. You can tap this one, and it'll take you to, there's like a Mac one, there's a Linux one, and there's a Windows one. So I'm on Linux, so I haven't tried the other ones, but guess they should work fine. Let's see, that one came in the way. Okay, and yeah, I hope you give it a try and find it useful, and send us a pull request if you need like a different build. Maybe I think maybe we're missing like a Mac x86 build. So if you need that, just create an issue and we'll figure out a way to make it for you. Yeah, what else? I don't know. I'm gonna try and make this channel into like post more like dev videos in the coming weeks. And if you enjoy this little video here, then do the subscribe thingy and follow along if you want, and throw me a comment if you have any comments, and try out Arch. I guess that's it. See ya.